Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stop for a moment and think about the conversations you have every day, but not with other people, with yourself. The words you say inside your mind, the way you speak to yourself, is the foundation of every outcome in your life. Your mindset shapes your reality. If you talk to yourself with doubt, fear, and negativity, you're building a prison around your potential. But if you deliberately choose to speak words of encouragement, faith, and power, you are laying down bricks of success. Understand this fundamental truth: the way you think and talk to yourself creates the world you live in. Your mindset is not some abstract concept. It is the blueprint for your life's reality. If you believe you are limited, you will experience limitation. If you believe you are worthy, capable, and deserving, you will create conditions that reflect those beliefs. Every thought that runs through your mind is like a seed planted in fertile soil. What grows depends on the quality of that seed. When your internal dialogue is filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, you are essentially planting seeds of failure, confusion, and frustration. On the other hand, when you choose to speak to yourself with encouragement, faith, and positivity, you plant seeds of success, clarity, and peace. Now, this is not just motivational fluff, this is scientific fact. Neuroscience shows that our brains are wired to respond to the language we use internally. When you engage in positive self-talk, you activate pathways that promote growth, resilience, and confidence. When you engage in negative self-talk, those pathways reinforce stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. In other words, your mind physically changes based on how you speak to yourself. Imagine for a moment two gardeners tending to their garden. One constantly tells themselves, "This soil is too poor, the weather is against me, nothing will grow here." The other gardener says, "I will nurture this soil, work through the storms, and bring life to this garden." Over time, which garden do you think will flourish? Your mind works the same way. Your mindset determines whether you cultivate success or struggle. The great news is this: mindset is not fixed. It's flexible and can be trained. Just like a muscle, the mind grows stronger with consistent use. If you make a habit of talking to yourself with kindness and confidence, you are exercising the mental muscles that build resilience and empowerment. You are rewiring your brain to focus on solutions instead of problems, on opportunities instead of obstacles. But here's where most people go wrong. They underestimate the power of their own words. They let negative self-talk slip in unnoticed and allow that to shape their entire day, week, even their future. The key is to become aware. Awareness is the first step to transformation. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," stop right there. Challenge that thought. Replace it with a truth that uplifts you. Speak to yourself like you are coaching your best friend. Would you tell your friend they are worthless or hopeless? Of course not. So why do it to yourself? Every great achievement starts with a mindset that believes it's possible. No athlete, entrepreneur, or leader succeeded without first believing in their own potential. They talked to themselves like champions before the world could see their greatness. You must do the same. This is not about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring challenges. It's about choosing the lens through which you view your reality. When you shift your mindset, your reality shifts. You begin to see opportunities where others see barriers. You find strength in adversity because your internal narrative supports resilience. If you want to change your life, start by changing your self-talk. Speak words that build, encourage, and empower. Plant seeds of faith in your own ability. Understand that your mindset is the architect of your reality, and when you take control of your internal dialogue, you take control of your life's outcome. So, ask yourself today, what kind of thoughts am I feeding? Am I nurturing a mindset that will help me rise, or one that will hold me down? The power is in your hands. Your mindset shapes your reality. Make sure it's a reality worth living. If there's one truth that separates those who succeed from those who struggle, it's this: the way you talk to yourself is the foundation of your success. Success is not just about skills, luck, or connections. It begins with the conversations you have in your own mind. Every decision you make, every action you take, starts with a thought, and those thoughts are shaped by the language you use internally. When you talk to yourself in a positive, empowering way, you are setting the stage for success. When you allow negative, discouraging self-talk, you are laying the groundwork for failure. Think about it. What you say to yourself influences how you feel, and how you feel drives what you do. If you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," your emotions will mirror that belief. You'll feel inadequate, discouraged, and hesitant. Those feelings then translate into behaviors. You might avoid challenges, procrastinate, or give up too soon. This cycle keeps you trapped in a pattern of underachievement. On the other hand, when you say to yourself, "I can learn this," "I'm capable of improvement," or "I deserve success," your emotions become aligned with confidence and hope. You feel motivated, energized, and focused. Your actions then reflect those feelings. You tackle challenges head on, persist through setbacks, and keep pushing toward your goals. Self-talk is not some vague idea. It's a practical tool you can use daily to build success. The way you speak to yourself shapes your identity. If you say, "I'm a failure," over and over, your brain starts to believe that is your identity. But if you say, "I'm a learner," "I'm improving every day," you shift that identity. And your identity guides your behavior. Look at the most successful people in any field. They all have one thing in common. They consistently affirm their abilities and potential. They talk to themselves like champions even when the world doubts them. They use their internal dialogue to strengthen their resolve and keep moving forward. This kind of self-talk is like planting seeds in fertile ground. Each positive affirmation nurtures confidence and determination. Over time, those seeds grow into habits, and those habits build the foundation of success. It's a gradual process, but it works. You must be patient and consistent. One of the most powerful aspects of positive self-talk is its ability to overcome fear and doubt. Fear tells you you can't do this. Doubt whispers you'll fail. But when you respond with affirmations like, "I am prepared," "I am capable," "I am resilient," you weaken the grip of fear and doubt. You reclaim control over your mind and your actions. This is why I challenge you to become intentional with your self-talk. Don't leave it to chance or habit. Be deliberate. Choose words that empower and uplift. Whenever you catch a negative thought, replace it immediately with a positive, truthful statement. It might feel strange at first, but with practice it becomes natural. Success is a journey, not a destination. And the way you talk to yourself determines how that journey unfolds. If you build a strong foundation of positive self-talk, you'll find that doors open, obstacles become stepping stones, and setbacks become lessons. Self-talk is more than just words in your head. It is the foundation upon which your entire future is built. Make it strong, make it positive, make it empowering. Because when you do, success is not just possible, it becomes inevitable. There is a powerful force behind every success story, a force so simple yet so profound that it is often overlooked: repetition. Repetition builds belief. This is a principle that has been proven time and time again, and it applies especially to the way you talk to yourself. Think about anything you've ever learned: a skill, a habit, or even a language. Did you master it in one day? No. It took practice, it took consistent effort, and most importantly, it took repetition. The same goes for your mindset and the beliefs that drive your actions. If you want to believe something deeply, if you want your mind to accept a new truth, you must repeat it over and over until it becomes part of who you are. Your brain works on a principle called neuroplasticity, which means it changes and adapts based on the experiences and information it receives. When you repeatedly say something to yourself, your brain starts to create new pathways that support that belief. Eventually, these pathways become so strong that the belief feels natural and automatic. That is how repetition builds belief. This is why daily affirmations and positive self-talk are so powerful. When you say, "I am capable," or "I am worthy," you're not just saying words, you're training your brain to accept these truths. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more your brain rewires itself to align with these ideas. Over time, your thoughts, feelings, and actions begin to reflect this new mindset. But repetition isn't only about saying the right words. It's about making those words real by pairing them with consistent actions. When you repeat positive statements and then back them up with effort and discipline, you create a feedback loop. Your actions confirm your words, and your words motivate your actions. This loop builds confidence and strengthens belief even more. Now, it's important to understand that repetition isn't just mindless chanting. It requires focus and intention. You have to believe in what you're saying, even if just a little bit, to get started. With each repetition, that belief grows. You're essentially training your subconscious mind to accept a new reality. Many people give up too soon because they expect immediate results. They say an affirmation once or twice and then dismiss it because they don't feel different right away. But change doesn't happen overnight. It happens through the steady, consistent practice of repeating empowering thoughts until they become your truth. For example, if you tell yourself, "I am confident," every morning for 3 days, you might not notice a big change. But if you do this every day for weeks, you will start to feel a shift in your mindset. You'll find yourself standing taller, speaking more clearly, and taking on challenges with greater courage. That is the power of repetition. Repetition also helps to overcome the negative self-talk that often holds people back. When you replace old, limiting beliefs with new, positive ones repeatedly, you weaken the hold of doubt, fear, and insecurity. You are actively rewriting the script of your life, one repetition at a time. Repetition builds belief. It is the engine that drives transformation. If you want to change your life, you must be willing to consistently feed your mind with the thoughts you want to grow. This is not a one-time event, but a daily discipline. So I challenge you to commit to a simple practice. For the next 3 days, repeat these powerful affirmations to yourself every morning and evening. Say them with conviction, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Watch as, day by day, your belief in yourself grows stronger and your reality begins to change. Success is not about luck or talent alone. It is about the relentless repetition of empowering thoughts and actions that build unshakable belief. Make repetition your ally and watch your life transform in ways you never imagined. Every person walking this earth is carrying something unseen, internal beliefs about who they are, what they deserve, and what they're capable of. And the truth is, for most people, those beliefs are not empowering. They are limiting. They are beliefs formed by past failures, criticism, trauma, and environments that told them they weren't enough. But let me tell you right now, you cannot build a successful future with a broken belief system. Limiting beliefs are invisible chains. They don't scream, but they whisper. They whisper things like, "I'll never be good at that. I always mess things up. People like me don't succeed," or "I'm just not that kind of person." These beliefs sound small, but they are destructive. They sabotage opportunity before it even arrives. They paralyze you when it's time to act. They steal your potential silently day by day, thought by thought. And here's what makes them so dangerous. You often don't even realize you have them. You operate as if they are facts when they are just old stories. Someone said something to you when you were younger, or you failed once and made it mean something about your worth. And now that thought has grown into a false identity. But I came to tell you today you can break those beliefs. You can unlearn the lies and build new truths. Limiting beliefs are not permanent, they are programmable. Just like a bad habit, they can be replaced by something better. And it all starts with awareness. The first step to overcoming limiting beliefs is recognizing them. Start listening to your self-talk. What do you say to yourself when you're faced with a challenge? When something doesn't go your way, when someone compliments you, that inner voice reveals what you truly believe. Once you've identified a limiting belief, don't run from it, confront it. Ask yourself, is this actually true? Where did I learn this? Who gave me this belief, and why am I still carrying it? Often, you'll find that the belief came from a place of fear, not truth. And once you expose a lie, you take away its power. Next, you must replace the limiting belief with a new empowering one. Not just any belief, a belief that aligns with the version of yourself you are becoming. If your old belief was, I always quit, replace it with, I am consistent, focused, and I finish what I start, and then say it out loud, over and over again. Repetition is what drives that new belief into your subconscious. But don't stop at words. Let your actions back it up. Every time you act in a way that contradicts your old belief, you weaken it. Every time you stretch your comfort zone and follow through, you're proving to yourself that you're not that old version anymore. You're becoming someone new, someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Now, understand this. Overcoming limiting beliefs is not a one-time event. It's a process. These beliefs may try to creep back in, especially when life gets hard. That's why you need to build a daily discipline of reminding yourself who you are and who you are becoming. Speak it, write it, live it. Your greatest enemy is not the world outside, it's the limitation inside. But you have the power to tear it down. You were not born with limiting beliefs, they were learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. Stop living under false ceilings. Stop shrinking to fit old labels. Your potential is far greater than the stories you've been told. So today, make the decision. No more agreeing with doubt. No more aligning with fear. Confront the belief, challenge it, replace it, and rise up as the person you were created to be. Because once you overcome the limits in your mind, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you. We've talked about mindset, self-talk, repetition, and overcoming limiting beliefs. But none of that matters if you don't apply it. Information without implementation is just entertainment. And you don't need another motivational moment. You need a transformational move. That's why I'm challenging you today to do something practical. For the next 3 days, commit to changing the way you talk to yourself. Not just when it's convenient, not just when you feel good, but intentionally and consistently for 3 straight days. Now, I'm not talking about a vague wish or a nice idea. I'm talking about a discipline, a decision you make to speak life into yourself, no matter how you feel, no matter what your circumstances look like. Because let's be clear, success doesn't respond to feelings. It responds to faith, and faith is strengthened by the words you speak. This 3-day challenge is about setting a new tone in your inner world so you can start producing different outcomes in your outer world. Here's how it works. The goal on day 1 is to catch yourself in the act. Start noticing every time you say something negative or limiting to yourself. Maybe you wake up and think, ugh, I'm so tired, or I'm already behind. Or maybe you make a mistake and think, of course I messed up again. Stop, pause, and immediately replace that thought with something better. Say, I'm energized and getting better by the hour. Or, mistakes are lessons I'm learning fast. You don't need perfection, you need awareness. Your job on day 1 is to become conscious of the script that's been running your life and start rewriting it. On day 2, you're not just reacting to negative thoughts, you're getting ahead of them. Speak affirmations over yourself before the day begins. Write down 5 declarations that align with the version of you that you want to become. Say them out loud first thing in the morning and again before bed. They could sound like this: I am focused, disciplined, and committed. I speak life, and I walk in purpose. I am grateful, strong, and favored. I take action daily, and success is inevitable. I am not who I used to be, I am rising. Say them with conviction. Look yourself in the mirror if you have to. This is not about hype, this is about alignment. You are aligning your words with the life you want to live. On day 3, it's time to back up your words with action. You've identified the old patterns, you've spoken new truths, now walk in them. Do one thing that you would normally hesitate to do. Apply for that opportunity, speak up in that meeting, stick to the routine you've been avoiding, take one bold step. Why? Because belief is solidified through evidence. And when you act in alignment with your new self-talk, you give your mind proof that this new version of you is real. This 3-day challenge is not about being perfect, it's about being deliberate. It's about proving to yourself that you are not a victim of your thoughts, you are the author of them. And when you take control of the words you speak to yourself, you begin to take control of the results you produce. Talk to yourself like a champion for 3 days and watch what starts to shift. You will stand taller. You will move quicker. You will think clearer. You will begin to attract different results because you are operating from a different frequency. You are becoming someone new, and it all started with the words you chose to speak. So the question is, are you ready? Not just to feel good for a moment, but to change your life one thought, one word, and one day at a time. The challenge begins now. Here's the truth. Your life is always moving in the direction of your most dominant thoughts. And those thoughts are shaped by one thing: the words you say to yourself. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are a product of your conversations. Not just the conversations you have with others, but the conversation you have with yourself, day in and day out. You see, self-talk is not just a mental habit, it's a spiritual law. As Myron Golden teaches, words are containers, they carry power. They carry life or they carry death. And when you speak something, especially over yourself, you are sowing a seed that will eventually produce fruit. We began with this truth: self-talk is the foundation of success. Then we built on it by understanding how repetition builds belief, how saying something once won't change your life. But saying it daily, intentionally, and consistently will begin to reprogram your mind and reset your results. We then expose the hidden enemy limiting beliefs, those old lies that have been playing on repeat, keeping you small, playing safe, living beneath your potential. But we didn't stop there. We took the next step, the practical step, to challenge ourselves for 3 days. 3 days of speaking new words, 3 days of confronting old lies, 3 days of choosing a new narrative and walking in it. And now, here we are, the final moment, the turning point. You've got the awareness. You've got the principles. You've got the challenge, but none of it matters if you don't activate it. This isn't about hype. This isn't about motivation for the sake of emotion. This is about transformation through application. You can go back to speaking words that limit you, or you can speak words that liberate you. You can keep repeating the old stories, or you can start declaring your new identity. You can remain who you've been, or you can become who you are called to be. So I challenge you for the next 3 days, talk to yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Speak like your breakthrough is listening. Affirm like your future is being shaped by every syllable. Stand in front of that mirror and declare victory, not because everything is perfect, but because you are shifting the power from fear to faith. And if you keep doing that, not just for 3 days, but for 30, for 90, for life, you will begin to attract new results, new opportunities, new relationships, and a new identity. Your words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Plant them with intention, speak with authority, and water them daily with belief, repetition, and bold action. Talk to yourself like a champion and watch your world rise to meet the level of your words. The challenge begins now. The transformation begins with you.